Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here then welcome to my channel. So in today's video I am going to be sharing a very humiliating haircut story. So in my Redefined December series, a lot of you guys asked me what is the haircut you have, it looks nice, tell me the name. And even though I did tell a few of you guys the name of it, there's just a lot that went behind me having this haircut that I have right now. So I thought I'm going to do a story time get ready with me, you know, just sharing a humiliating story or just any story like that. Let me know if you guys like this sort of video. This video might be a little bit long, so I would suggest you grab a snack or just anything to sip on, anything you want to, because I don't want you guys to just listen to me, you know. So let's get started. I'm also going to tell you guys the products I'm using. I'm not going to do a very complicated look today because I'm not in the mood to. Instead, I'm just going to talk to you guys about it and what really went down. Let's start. So as I do my makeup, I'm of course going to share the products and everything, but just in case if I miss anything, please look for it in the description box. I'll definitely update all the products in the description box. Before I start, something that I do want to mention is that I used Palmer's Skin Success Anti-Dark Spot Fade Cream today. I just got it today. I ordered it a day before yesterday, and Nykaa is pretty good these days with their delivery. So this is how it looks like. It promises a lot of things, and it is basically supposed to help you in fading scars, acne marks, and hyperpigmentation and all of those things. So I started using it today, but I still don't feel very hydrated and nourished, so I'm going to go ahead and use my Ponds. The reason why I mentioned that is because if you guys want to see a review of it after I use it for almost 20 to 30 days, I would be happy to do so. Please let me know in the comment section below. So I've already done my eyebrows, just because eyebrows just need a lot of concentration and attention, and when I'm sharing the story, I'm pretty sure I would not have the focus to do my eyebrows. So okay, so I think I should start. Let me just like slather this on. My skin has been so dry. I've been sick the past 2 days, and I guess you can see the dark circles and everything. I haven't been taking care of my skin all that much, and so my skin was so congested, and I gave my skin a little bit of a mini facial, and so it's feeling a little dry and red. But anyways, I feel so good, nourished and hydrated already after the moisturizer. If you haven't tried this, you definitely should. Okay, so let me start. For my base, I'm going to use my Nykaa SKINgenius Sculpting and Hydrating Foundation. This is in the shade Warm Sand. Okay, so I'm going to start with the very beginning. So I do not have a very large forehead. I mean, I guess it's almost a 5 head, but still I'm not very conscious about it. But I just do not like my head shape. Okay, so I do not like my head shapes. And another thing is that my hair just grows out too fast. It grows so fast that I hate it. I mean, it's a good thing sometimes, but I also hate it sometimes. And when it grows out very long, I just almost start looking like a baldy, because the fringes just grow out again very long, and there's just no volume here at all. Right now, I mean, I still look a little bit baldy, but you can still see that there's a little bit of volume because my hair is short. But when it grows out, like, I don't know, I feel like a totally different person. That's how I feel like. It looks so bad. But when it grew out, I was quite happy with the length, and everybody was like, wow, your hair looks nice, you know, your hair, lengthy hair looks good on you, and just things like that. So I was like, okay, so I am not going to cut it short. So that was my first thought. You know, I don't want to get rid of the length, but I also want a little bit of volume up here. That was my thought. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this at home. I'm going to try cutting my fringes at home. That's what my initial plan was, to just cut fringes or bangs and leave the rest of my hair as is. This particular night before going to bed, I'm on YouTube looking for tutorials on how to cut fringes and just things like that. And so I found one. I'm just first going to dot the foundation because I'm not able to concentrate. So yeah, this particular night I found a tutorial on how to cut your fringes, and that looked very promising. Like, it was so different. It wasn't like any other tutorial where they just show you, oh, cut it this way and then cut it that way. She divided her crown section or this section in 2 parts, and then she cut it differently. And so I was like, oh wow, like this looks quite nice. I'm sure I can manage it. So the next day, the very next day, mind you, I was so excited about it. I was like, yes, I can do it. It's gonna look amazing. So the very next day I come back home. I think it was a weekend. Yes, it was a weekend. I remember it so vividly because I don't understand what I would have done if it wasn't a weekend. Let me continue. And so it was a Friday night. I came back home, I went to that video and I started cutting my fringes. So the fringes came out very well. The tutorial was pretty nice. I followed it along and I was pretty happy with the results. After the fringes came out very nice, I was like, you know what, if I can do this myself, like if I can cut my fringes myself this well, I'm going to look for another tutorial where I can like trim my hair layer wise. So my hair was already in layer haircut. So I was like, if I can do this, I'm of course going to be able to do that as well. Today, I look up a few more tutorials, just how to cut your hair in layers at home. DIY layer haircut at home and things like that. So I found one and she made it look so easy, right? Like she was like, oh, just like flip your hair, trim, your hair, trim, flip your hair, trim. And her results came out very well. Like hers looked like she had gotten done from a parlor or something. And so I was like, oh, this is the one I'm going to follow. Now that I look at it and think about it, I'm like, I was so stupid. Like, why did I even think it was a good idea? But anyways, using my Maybelline Age Rewind concealer for concealing my under eyes. Anyway, so that same evening I started to follow the tutorial again, and I was doing a good job, I would say, initially. So I was like, yeah, this looks nice. So the first time I cut it following that tutorial, I thought it looked very nice, so I just stopped it. My hair looks healthy. It doesn't look as like, I had a lot of split ends as well, so I was like, yeah, I think I've gotten rid of most split ends. So that was the real purpose of me doing it myself at the first place, because I didn't want to get rid of the length, right? So I was like, yeah, if I do it myself, the length is going to be the same way. I'm only going to get rid of the split ends and my hair is going to just look more healthy and bouncy in general. That was the purpose. So the first time I did it, I thought I was pretty good at it. I was happy and I stopped it. So then my mom woke up and I asked her, Mom, how does it look like? And she was like, did you just cut it yourself? And I'm like, yeah, I did that. Why? And she was like, it totally looks like you cut it yourself. Like, look at the end. It looks so blunt. It doesn't look very good. And so that is where everything went downhill. If I had just stopped, you know, if I had just stopped at that point thinking it's anyways going to look like this because I'm not a professional, it would have been fine. But I was like, no, I'm going to make it better. So then I don't know what I kept doing. I think I kept following the tutorial and it just came to a point where I'm going to insert a picture. I don't know if I have that picture. Yeah, okay. So what I did was I kept following the video, right? So after doing that, again, I didn't think of it very well. And so my hair, the length of my hair just decreased from being till here to here. And even though the length got decreased, the main problem was the layers looked so uneven. So a big chunk of my hair was up till here and the next layer was almost here. Like there was like huge gap between the two layers that I had cut. And I was freaking out because it looked so odd. Forget the length. I'm fine if I decrease the length. It's totally fine. But the way it looked was so horrendous and I was freaking out. Another thing is that the layer did not look like a layer. Like it's supposed to look a little bit V-shape, you know, the layer that you cut or the layer you have in your hair, but it looked slant, like it looked like this. So there's already this huge of a gap between the two layers and it's also slant. Now I started freaking out. I was like, oh shit, what have I done? So I go to my sister. I'm just laughing at it because that was just so stupid. Guys, just don't attempt it, and if you do, just be very, very careful. So I think I'm going to move on to my eyes while I tell you the rest of the story. I'm going to create something very simple. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to buff a few colors from here on my crease and just do just a little bit something to give a little bit more color. So yeah, so at this point there's a huge gap between the two layers of my hair, and the first layer is quite slant and it's looking very funny. So I go to my sister, I call her up and I'm like, can you just do me a favor? And she's like, what is it? And she laughed at it firstly. She's like, what have you done? But anyways, so I go to her and I'm like, can you just like cut it straight? Oh my god, the more I think of it, it makes me go crazy. Like, how can I even think that a layer is cut straight? I don't know, like when I saw it slant, I was like, oh my god, all I have to do is just cut it straight. So I went to her and I'm like, can you please cut it straight? And I don't think even she thought of it. Like, none of us really gave it a good thought, and she was like, oh, that's it, yeah, sure, why not? So she's sitting there cutting my first layer straight, and none of us thought that it's going to look even worse. And after that was done is when I almost went into depression. I was like, what have I done? It looked so bad. Like, I felt like the majority of the volume of my hair was completely gone because the first layer had almost come till my shoulder, and that's when I started freaking out. Because think about it, even if I go to a salon and get it done professionally, how is he going to manage it? Like, the layer is going to start from here now. And so I was like, what have I done? I started freaking out. And so my mom and my sister were like, oh, it's okay, your hair anyways grows fast, just let it be, let it grow, and then you can get it fixed. Because I had lost hope. In my head I was like, I don't think even a professional can fix it, because the first layer was starting from here. So I was like, okay, yeah, that is fine. I think I can wait for it to grow out. I mean, I don't know why I even thought that was a good idea, and I'm grateful that I didn't stick to that plan. But yeah, so I was like, okay, but then how am I going to go to office? Like, everybody's going to laugh at my hair if I leave it open. So she was like, okay, just tie it in a ponytail and see how it looks like. So I did that, and even in ponytail you could tell that my hair looked horrendous. Like, there was like huge gap in ponytail as well. So my ponytail would look like this. This is the first layer, and then the majority, the rest of my hair would just lie flat. It looked so bad. Just imagine how bad it was looking. And so like, that particular night I could not sleep. I kid you not, I was freaking out. I was like, how am I going to wait the next 6 months? I mean, it would at least take 6 months, right? Because the first layer is up here. How am I going to manage 6 months just tying up my hair? So yeah, of course I couldn't even tie a ponytail. So I was like, I think the only option left is to do a bun. And just imagine doing that every single day. I cannot do that. So my sister is like, you know what, you can make curls, and if you do that, it's not going to look that visible. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try that as well. I don't know why, I just lost hopes. I lost hopes, like, seriously. And so yeah, I went ahead and curled my hair, right? And when I curled it, she was right, like, it didn't look that obvious, but it still looked like something has gone wrong with my hair. Like, if you would look closely and if you would pay attention, you could tell that there was something wrong with my hair. So that particular night I was just like, I was almost about to cry, but I was like, come on Akriti, it's just hair. But I was truly depressed. I didn't know what to do. And just completely depressed, completely, like, I was hopeless at this time. I was like, I don't know what to do. So next morning I woke up and I was like, no, I have to do something. I cannot lose hopes. So there's this guy from Naturals. I'm an idiot. So you know Natural Salon, so there's this guy called Santosh in HSR layout. I have gotten my haircut done from him previously, and I really loved his work, and I felt like if there's something that can be done and if there's someone that can save my hair, it's only going to be him. So I booked an appointment, and the same day I visited him, and I was dreading. I was like, oh my god, he's going to laugh at my hair, what am I going to say? I was just so nervous. And that particular day there were so many people in the parlor. I was like, oh god, I don't want anybody to see my hair like this. I just hope there's nobody in the parlor, in the salon. But no, that same day it was full of people. So I'm like dreading, I'm planning in my head like what am I going to say him, you know, how all of this went down. And so I hope he's not watching this. I'm sure he's not watching this. But so I tell him that my cousin's sisters had visited, and they followed a YouTube tutorial and they did this to my hair. Like, I totally blamed all of this on a non-existent cousin, and he totally believed it. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Now here was the real question. I was like, can you like do something about it? Can you fix it? Is it possible for you to give me like layers, because that was the first thing that I always want. And so I was like, yeah, I can do that, but I will have to definitely decrease the length. And I'm like, yeah, do anything, just make it look nice and just flawless. So he was like, yeah, fine. And so he shampooed my hair and just things like that, the regular thing that people do. And I was so nervous. I was like, oh my god, what if even he's not able to fix it? I was just so nervous. It took him a little bit extra time, I'm not going to lie. It wasn't very easy for him as well. I could tell that, because he had to like take like different sections of my hair from different angles and then do certain things, and that is when my hair looked the way it's looking right now. You guys ask me all the time that what haircut it is, and it's not completely layers. He called it some creative cut or something, and that's what he did, because at this point all he could do was just save my hair from looking awful. So it's not entirely layers. I don't really think it's layers at all. It's just that he saved my hair from a complete mess. So yeah, that was the story. I just went ahead and finished my eye look. I added a pair of magnetic lashes from Ardell. Yeah, that's all. And this is the only story I wanted to share. But apart from that, let's talk about fitness really quickly. I'm going to finish my makeup very well. I'm not going to set the rest of my face because I am anyways going to take this off in a while, so I don't think that's necessary. I am going to bronze though. Using my Lakme finishing powder as my highlight. I love this stuff, you guys. This looks so nice. So before I end this video, I wanted to talk about these resistance band that I bought for myself. So these are from this band called Fitlastics, and it comes in this little pouch. I really like it. It says, don't live in a gym, just look like you do. That's amazing. And it comes with 4 of these resistance bands. So you have light, this is extremely light, okay, and then this is medium, there is heavy, and then there's extra heavy. So I mostly get use out of the extra heavy one because I feel like these are just too elastic. I wanted to mention these because if you're somebody who is trying to get in shape just at home watching a bunch of YouTube videos, and these come in so handy. You'll find a bunch of videos on exercises related to resistance band. I've been really enjoying using these, especially for glutes and my leg overall. So yeah, I had to mention that. I was like, where do I even mention this? So I thought just include it in this video, you know. Okay, so for my lips, I'm going to use Nykaa's Lips Don't Lie lip liner in the shade Sweetheart Pink. I think this would look nice with this makeup look. Very minimalistic eye, and just this color in general. So Anyways, so that's about it for my story time. Get ready with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you do not judge me after watching this video, because this was quite humiliating. But before I end this, if you guys want me to keep continuing making more of these videos, let me know in the comment section below. And of course, I'm not going to have story time every month or every now and then. So if you guys have any humiliating, funny, just any story that you want to share with the world, maybe you can DM me or just something if you want to again, and maybe we can, you know, include your story in one of these videos. It would be so much fun. Yeah, that is going to be fun. But anyways, that's only if you guys want to do it. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.